Have you ever dreamed of stepping on stage and making up a song from scratch, just like Marc Rebillet? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the key 4 pieces that you need to include in your looping setup, how I've set up my template so that I can pretty much just open Ableton, start looping almost immediately. And number 3, I'm going to show you how to get started if you've never looped before. Now, what if I told you that there was 4 essential components to any song? Well, that's the secret. Here it is. We got drums, we got bass, we got some harmonies, some mids, and then we got some vocals. Next, we're going to add in bass. Harmonies here. Not my best too, but it's there. So that's the general premise here. Da, 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 da. Drums, the bass, a little bit of melody, harmony stuff, and some vocals. That's the basic foundation of it. How do we make this template? So for me, I wanted to have drums. So I made an instrument rack and I added in a number of drums. So I'm going to show you how to go ahead up here in your search bar. We're going to go instrument rack. We're going to go all, and you're going to find the instrument rack here. Boom. Drag that in to your MIDI channel. Then what you can do is you can drag in some kits. I'm just going to drag in 2 for now. So you're going to drag one in and it's going to show up here. And at this point, you'll be able to play. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find this button here along the side. And what you'll be able to see is this is what they call the chain list. And so what's cool about this is that you can drag in different instruments. And then what you'll see here is now what's happening is both of these are playing at the same time. We don't necessarily want that. We want to play them at different times. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag one of them to all the way over here when I hit chain right here. And I'm going to hit distribute ranges equally like this. Then I'm going to map this selector right here to this macro one known as the chain selector. And so what we can do now, you see that little blue bar. So now we can have this drum set going, or we can move it over and have this other cool sound going on as well. And so we can do this a number of different times, and that's what I've done over here. I've actually added 24 different drums in here, and I've connected it to a MIDI controller, which I'll show you in a second. But now it's completely different drum sets, and I've got 24 different options at the tip of my fingers, ready to go. When you want to save this, you just gotta make sure you save it. That's for your drums, right? So you're gonna have drums. Then I did another one for my bass. So I've got different instruments in here for different bass sounds. Again, created an instrument rack, dragged in different bass sounds that I liked, and then we're off to the races there. Did the same thing for pianos. And then for the vocals, you just need to have an audio track and then you're set. The next piece here is where it gets maybe a little bit more complicated, but stick with me here. So I have it set up with these special loopers from Ableton Drummer, one button looper. I'll put a link in the comments. These are awesome. It allows me to have this like visual up here, and it allows some additional functionality different from the regular Ableton looper. But I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I believe this is an audio effect. I am using Ableton 12 Suite, but you can see here we have this looper. And what you need to set up is all of my drum racks are actually being sent to return channels. They're all being sent to this C channel. With the exception of the drums, I have some extra processing over here. But when I do the bass, when I trigger this, I have it automated to turn on the C send. So now you can see it's sending to the C, right? So what I'm gonna do, and if you don't know where to find that, you can click on the bottom right-hand corner, click on return tracks. That's how you set that up. And you can always click insert and return track. But so we're gonna do, instead of taking it from the input, I'm going to take it from these return tracks here at the end. I'm going to take it from C. So then I would turn this up, right? The C send. And we are getting audio into here. I'm going to turn the keep latency off. If you need help finding that, just go ahead again. We're going to go track options. And when we turn off keep latency, it allows it to be more in time. And I'm going to click over here and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we can get a simple loop going over here. And we could do some more. So, and then what's cool about this, so this is the Ableton looper, right? This is the basic piece that you can start using to loop. And what you can do is you can have a few of these different tracks. Let's say we have 2 different tracks, and you can make like a part A and a part B over here. And then what happens is you can drag your audio over here, and then we have a loop of that audio. Right? And you can continue to do that, and that's the basic version. And what you can do is you can hit Command M, and you can click on the MIDI note here. You could tie it to a MIDI track here. Then when I click this button on my MIDI pad controller, it'll start this process here, right? So that's one way to do it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. That's your basic MIDI setup. Okay, so let's say that you have a MIDI controller. I am using the Novation Launchpad Pro, but you can absolutely use anything that you have. If you have something simple, like even just a few buttons, you can still get this to work. And you can even use your keyboard potentially to make this work as well. But I'm going to show you how to do it with a MIDI controller. Here's how it all, so basically inside of Ableton, I am using these one button loopers, and what I've done is basically with each of the buttons in this row, it corresponds to a different action of this one button looper. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but these are from Ableton Drummer. They're absolutely awesome. You can record up to 10 tracks of audio, and basically it just allows for much easier undoing and just overall better vibes. So what I've done on the play button is this button down here. So you just click Command M, and then this goes for any looper. So you could also do this with this looper, right? You could also click on this button and then hit a key on your MIDI controller. So I'm gonna hit this button here, and it is connected with my MIDI controller here. And a tip here is you need to have the track that you are trying to edit selected. So now I select it here, and we're good. Then I've connected this green button right here to the play button, this purple one to the stop button. This opens and closes this little hovering icon. I've set up a few other things I'll get to in a second, but the undo button is this orange one, and the clear button is this clear one up at the top. So that's what I've set up. And then I've gone ahead and set this up for 6 different loopers here, which is pretty awesome. Additionally, Ableton Drummer, I'm just shouting out his stuff. I have set it up so that I can auto quantize the audio, or I can have a fixed length recording time. And so I do that with this button, activates the fixed length recording. So it has 1 bar, 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, and 16 bars that I can do a fixed length of. So I'll just give you an example here of that. So we'll just hit the play button here, and you can see it's going to start recording. And we start recording, and it's going to go for 1 bar. Basically what I've done is I've tracked these MIDI keys over onto this, turning this on and off. Auto quantize for the 6 tracks, so basically 6 ways across. That turns on and off the auto quantize, and then this button down here turns on the fixed length. This applies to all of the loopers down here, and then this is per track. I've set it up. So it was a bit of time going through, clicking on the button, clicking over here, clicking on the button, clicking over here, right? So there's a little bit of setup involved, but once you get it set up, then you're ready to go, ready to get into action. The first thing that I would recommend to do is you want to work on I began practicing with simple covers, okay? Especially songs that have 2 chords. One of the first ones was Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And you also want to set up a click track so you're hearing the metronome, and you got to focus on the rhythm and the timing. And if you want to see how I do my routing, there's another video I have over here for that. And let me show you how a basic song like Dreams could be crafted here. And you can just start really simple, and then you just do your best here. And I'm going to start with the drums. Remember, we're always going to start with the drums. I don't love this drum sound. That's it. 2, 3, 4. All right. So that is how you get this stuff going. All right, and the very last step I did not mention before is that when you're done with your template, what you want to do is you want to go up to File, and you want to go Save Live Set as Template. And when you do that, It's going to load, but then you'll be able to name your template. And then when you're ready to use this by default, you go ahead and right click, and you're going to go ahead and set default live set. And then you're good to go. If you like this video, give it a like and a subscribe, and go ahead and create your own template. Create something that works for you. But definitely, I know for me, starting with a template that I'm able to really quickly just get into action, make some music, has been an absolute life changer for me, and it's making life a lot more fun. I'm going to include a video of me actually making some other music with some found sounds and things like that at the end of this video, where I was kind of just messing around, making some loops, making some other stuff. And I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, take that first step.